Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is a good morning. There's snow on the ground, and we are getting ready to go. Let's see, we got nobody watching. I'm going to go share it real fast. Let everybody know we are live on Saturday morning.
I'll do the same.
Let's see here. Where's that? Share it real fast. Let's see. There we are. We are live. We are live. How's everybody doing? Brother Andrew, how you doing this morning?
Doing pretty good.
Tired?
Not too bad.
Not too bad.
Even though we had a good youth activity yesterday, it wasn't too bad. Not too tired.
That's good.
I don't need much sleep. So.
I feel you. I was up late working out here in the office and getting everything set up.
It's looking good.
Got a computer screen so I can see. I got everything on here. Nothing's hidden. And we can see what's going on. We can monitor the comments. We got the Bible verses. But we'll go ahead and get started. Let me go over my intro. Well, good morning. That intro did not work, and I am sorry about that. It has been a rough morning. Oh man, we'll worry about that. And today we're gonna be talking about the prodigal son. And last week we talked about we started in Luke chapter 15, and we talked about the younger son. You know, he was out there and he wanted the father's inheritance. He was ready to go.
Yep.
He said, "Give me my stuff." And he went out to the far country, and that didn't end up too well, did it?
No, it did not.
Nothing
Never
ever
ends up
good.
well in the far country.
Right. Nothing ever good. Nothing ever good comes out of the far country. But then we always hear the story of the far country. We always that's what I feel like we've been taught, and I've heard that many times of the story of that, the parable of the younger son. But today we want to talk about the elder brother.
The elder brother.
The elder brother. There is, the Bible starts off here in Luke chapter 15. Let me bring this up on the screen real fast. Luke chapter 15, verse 1. It don't say there was not verse 1. Where's he at? Where are we at here? Number 11. Luke 15, verse 11. He says, certain man had two sons. So there's two sons there if you look right here, two sons.
Yeah.
So there's another story to the other side of it. We see there was two sons. We're going to talk about that other guy today. Brother Andrew, how'd your weekend go? How'd your week go?
It's gone pretty good. Been busy, definitely, but not too bad overall.
That's good.
Definitely busy. Had a lot to deal with the kids in the high school. So you know how that is.
Let everybody know who you are. We hopped on here last week. We got a lot of people who watch this because I'm friends with Spencer Smith, But a lot of people don't know who you are. I got some text messages and some messages. There's some that watch who know you are, but tell us a little bit about yourself.
So for those of you that don't know me, my name's Brother Andrew Patterson. I'm from Maryville Baptist Church, and I help out. I work full time at the church and work in the high school. I teach grades 9th and 10th, and sometimes 11th and 12th, depending on what classes I teach that year. But I moved to Kentucky about 2.5 years ago. And about 2.5 years ago. It's almost 3 years now. My goodness, but it feels like it's been a lifetime. But moved down here about 2.5 years ago to go to Bible college, and so now I work in the high school.
That's good. Andrews are. I guess everyone has what they call the strong back, and he does all the maintenance stuff.
They have me there just to lift stuff. That's about it.
That's all he's good for is lifting stuff. You can tell. Someone sent me a message, said, was that kid an athlete? I guess. He played football. He could have went college, play, I believe, D1 football if he wanted to. but he chose
Yeah.
to serve the Lord.
Yeah, the Lord took me a different direction.
No, that's crazy.
I wouldn't trade it for anything either.
It's like the prodigal son says, he came to himself.
Yeah.
He came to him. That's good, right? That's deep.
I was in that far country for a long time.
Yeah, I believe we all are. So let me ask you this: we got two sons here. We got the young son. We got the older son. A lot of people believe the younger son is a representation of the sinner, being out in the world, coming back. But then we look at the older son. Who's he represent? Let me ask you, who are you? Which one are you if you had to choose? Are you the young, loving son who comes back home? Or are you the one who's been in the family, ain't done nothing wrong, but he's bitter?
I feel like I've been a little bit of both.
All right, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, I think that I've definitely had times where I've been in the far country and needed to come back home. I definitely know that. But I also believe that there's been times where in my Christian life that there's been times I've been the other son, been jealous of the younger, and been jealous of the fact that the father gave him so much compassion and forgiveness when he came home.
I know. I'm thankful for a loving father. But we'll hop in the Bible study here in Luke chapter. I ain't going to read, but chapter 11 we see here the parable of the prodigal son. But we're going to skip down. We read this last week. I'm not going to read all this. He went and he won his inheritance, and when the father gave it to him, he went to the far country. But I want to hop down here. I think it's verse 20. Yeah, 25. We'll see here. So we see here in verse 21 and 20 and 23 that the son just came back. The son just came back to the father. The father saw him. He ran to him. He jumped on him, gave him hugs, kissed. He gave him his robe, his ring. But then we see here in verse 25. This is good right here. It says, and now his elder son was in the field. He was carrying. I'll close this out real here. He was carrying. I've done lost my. There we go. The eldest son, he was in the field. He came and drew nigh to the house, heard music and dancing. He's like, pray, what's going on at the house?
Yeah.
What's going on over there? Then he said he called one of the servants and asked, what's these things meant? What he's saying, what's going on? He's out there working hard. It's probably hot. He's doing the father's work.
Yeah.
He's out there slaving. I've learned when you're working for the father, it's not easy. The father's work isn't easy. But then and then the servant said to him, he said to them, thy brother is come, thy father has killed the fatted calf, because he have received him safe and sound. But then we see here in verse 28 right here, this is what I believe a lot of Christians are right there. A lot of older Christians, a lot of people have been in church for a while when someone gets saved, and they see a young kid get saved, and they get, but they say here, he was angry. He would not go in. It says, therefore he came his father out and entreated him, and he answered and said his father, lo, these many years I do serve thee, neither transgressed, says I at any time thy commandment, yet thou never gavest me a kid, that I might make merry with my friends. In verse 30, but as soon as thy son was come, which hath devoured thy living with harlots, and thou hast killed for him the fatted calf. And then we see in verse 31, he said unto him, son, thou art ever with me. All that I have is thine. Man, that's some promises right there.
That's good.
Hey, guys, when you know the Savior right here, he says, thou art ever with me. All that I have is thine. We see here, it was meant that we should make merry and be glad, for thy brother was dead and is alive again, and was lost and is found. We believe here Jesus is... As I was studying this parable, Jesus is talking to the Pharisees. The Pharisees didn't like Jesus hanging out with the sinners. The Pharisees didn't like Jesus being around the publicans. Jesus loved these people. We see Jesus had a love for the sinners, but the Pharisees hated the sinners.
Yeah, they definitely did. They hated the sinners because of the fact that they thought that they were better than them. And I think that in these few verses that we see is kind of a little bit of a jab towards those Pharisees when Christ is telling them the parable, because of the fact that they were upset. Because it says in verse 2, and the Pharisees and scribes murmured, saying, this man receiveth sinners and eateth with them. So they're clearly being good Pharisees that they were,
were
upset that he was sitting with sinners. And I think that 25 through 32 kind of gives us the point of view of how we should actually be, and how the Father tells him that all that he has is his. So we have no reason to be upset for the one that comes home. No reason to be mad or angry towards the person that was out in a far country and comes back and gets treated the same way.
Right. You look at the we look at the elder son. Elder son already had his inheritance.
Mm-hmm.
Elder son didn't lose nothing.
Yeah.
With that son, with his little brother coming back, was not going to affect anything he already had.
That's right.
He was already given he was already promised what was his. He still had a house to stay in. He wasn't going to get kicked out, but he was angry. Mm-hmm. He was so angry he didn't want to go in. Yeah. We look here in verse 28. I got a little outline here. I ain't going to preach this morning. But see in verse 28.
It's all right, preach.
We'll let it rip. It says he was angry and would not go in. Therefore came his father out and entreated him. We see the disgruntled disciple.
Yep.
We see the disgruntled. We look at Galatians Chapter 6, verse 1. Galatians Chapter 6, verse 1. Let me pull that up here on my Eastward program. Where's Galatians at? They took it out of the Bible on me. Let's see here. It says, brethren, if a man be overtaken in fault, says, ye which are spiritual, restore such and one in the spirit of meekness. Consider thyself, says, let us also be tempted. We see here, he was overtaken in fault. We got to restore the meekness. We look at Matthew Chapter 7, verse 1 through 5. I believe a lot of people know this one. Matthew Chapter 7, verse 1. Let's pull this up here and read it. That's Chapter 7, verse 1. All right. Here's the famous verse, I believe. Judge not, that ye be not judged. So it says, for with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged, and with that measure, ye met, it shall be measured to you. And then here in verse 3, why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam that is in thine own eye? Or how wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote out of thine eye, and behold, a beam is in thine own eye? So we see here, I believe the older brother here in that verse, he's saying in Luke chapter 15, he's saying, his anger. He was angry. He didn't want to come in. He was disgruntled. We see the disgruntled disciple. Not only that, we see the disengaged disciple. Mm-hmm. Disengaged disciple, what that means, in that verse it says he didn't want to come back in. He wanted to stay out there. He wanted to stay out there in the fields while those people were in there having a good time. Man, He was angry. He would not go in.
Didn't want to be involved.
He didn't want to be involved in anything.
That's right.
Man, I know some people that have been sitting in the pew a long time. They're angry. They don't want to do nothing for the Lord. Man, it hits home right there sometime.
Yeah, a lot of times it's us that are like that.
Oh yeah,
and we don't even realize it.
Oh, I know it. We read this like, man, who's he talking to? Then we see in verse 29, it says, he answered and said to his father, lo, these many years do I serve thee. It says, neither transgressed at any time thy commandment. He said, well, these many years I do serve thee. Mm-hmm. What? I have been here since day one. He wanted you dead. He wanted his inheritance. He left. He came back, and you're going to just receive him in welcome arms? He said, I have served you many years. I can't believe you did this to me, pretty much. It says, any time thy commandment, it says, yet thou never gavest me a kid that I may make merry with my friends. We see the disdainful disciple. He was, I believe, Brother Andrew, we can see this with young preachers and teachers and pastors. Man, I've been in this church many, many years, but that guy starts a church down the street and it's growing.
Yeah.
Well, you gave this guy this big church, you gave him this many people, these members, but what have you done for me? I have never let you down. I'll never stop serving you. But man, we see a disdainful disciple. But here, I like this right here. This is good right here. It says, but as soon as the son was come, which hath devoured the living harlots. So he's accusing his son. He don't even know what his brother did. He's accusing laying with harlots, being the wicked, But I mean, anything. It's I guess when you know people who's been out there in the far country, or who hangs out with people who drink, or you're associated with it.
Right.
He may not have done this stuff, but since he was with that crowd, he was guilty by association.
Gotta be careful who your friends
are. Oh yeah, you gotta be careful who you're hanging out with. He was devoured thy living with harlots, but then thou hast killed for him the fatted calf. Man, you killed him. I mean, this is the bit. I mean, a fatted calf don't happen overnight.
Right.
That's like, it takes time to get big, and he killed the fatted calf for him. But then we see here in verse 31, he said unto him, let me bring this up here. This is good right here. We look at verse 28. It says his father came out. Man, he didn't say, hey, he didn't tell his servants to go get him. He didn't say, hey, we'll wait till he cools off and come in.
Right. He went to him.
He went to him. That ain't the first time he went to his son, right?
Right.
His younger brother, as he came into the field was running, he met him before he even got to the house.
Yeah.
There's that song, He Came Looking for Me, or something like that, I believe. And I'm thankful this morning that the Father came out to where I was at.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
And I believe the Pharisees, Jesus. We look at Jesus. Jesus always went to the far. He was always around the people with the far country.
Yep.
He never waited for people to come find him. He went to those people.
That's right.
And the Pharisees didn't like that.
No.
They didn't like it that Jesus was willing. He loved the sinner. Why did Jesus come in the world? To save that which was lost.
Right.
Which was me and you.
Absolutely.
He came to us. I didn't have to go to him. Man, we see here the devoted daddy.
Yeah.
The devoted. I'm thankful for the devoted daddy. He came out and see, he wanted the fellowship with both sons. He didn't say my other son's home. He didn't say, hey, your brother's home. I'm going to ignore you. He was devoted enough to go out and to see what was wrong with his other son.
Exactly.
Jesus loved both sides. Pharisees wanted one thing. Jesus wanted to be able to love on both sides, both people. He loves his sons. He loves the ones who are saved, but he also loves the ones that are out in the world.
That's right. He does.
I'm thankful for that. I believe here, he never, the reason this guy was so angry, he never forgave his brother. He had a hatred for his brother.
Yeah.
He left, and he was probably thinking he was bitter. He probably said, you left me here to work. You left me here to do your job. So you got to think, I don't know how long he was gone. Never said really how long he was gone, how many years. But every day he could think, man, he's gone. He ain't coming back. He was, it just builds up. It just builds up.
Bitterness.
It gets to the tipping point. And then I can believe when he saw his brother run his daddy. I was reading and studying this. He should have been stoned. He should have been killed. Anytime, we see where the son leaves and takes everything, when he comes back home, they don't want nothing to do with him.
Right. Yeah, according to Jewish customs.
Yeah, according to Jewish custom, they wanted nothing to do with him.
Yeah.
But his daddy welcomed him. He ran and met where he was at.
Yeah.
Man, this is as I was studying this, man, this is some good stuff in Luke chapter 15.
Oh yeah, there's a lot in Luke chapter 15. Definitely encourage you, if you haven't done a little study on Luke 15, make sure you do, because it'll help you a lot. But I like exactly what you were talking about with the elder son. How it says in verse 28, and he was angry. So this has been building up for some time.
It wasn't like he saw him and got mad. He was angry. Like he was angry. He was probably even mad before the son even got there.
Yeah, it wasn't like he was just upset. No, he was angry because of the fact that I believe that bitterness kind of helped creep up on him there.
Yeah,
he was upset with the decisions his brother made.
Right,
like you said, left him with all the work.
So he got to do everything.
And then to see him treated the way he was treated when he came back home, he was mad. And that's a very dangerous place to be, especially in your Christian walk, is to have bitterness creep up on you, which can turn into anger. And bitterness comes in a lot of different ways, and it's like pride. It sneaks up on you. It's not something that you catch easily. It's not something that's in your face and you can just see. No, it's very sneaky in how it comes up, so you have to always be careful.
Right. So we'll kind of relate this in today. You know, we see the younger son. He lived a bad world. Sin, wicked. He came home. His daddy welcomed him. His son never left. He said, "There went the camera. Hit the one button over there. We'll keep talking. Mike's still alive. Brother Andrew will take care of us." The son never left. It's on the other side, right above. Yep, on that top. Yep, on the side there. You'll feel it. There we go. We should be good here in a second. There we go. We're back. Sorry this happened again. That was the way to set up. We talk too long. This camera only holds up for 20 minutes, so
That's okay.
Hey, it's all right.
You know, it's all right.
They don't need to see our faces.
Yeah,
let's look. How many times there's people we know. We know how they live. Man, he was out partying. He was drug. We know he was a druggie in high school. You know, he was the wicked of all wicked. But then when we see him come to know Christ, we can't forget their past.
Right.
We're still thinking in their mind that they're going to mess up. He can't do that. How can God use this man? How can he? He was wicked. He was a druggie. He did all his He killed somebody. He was a murderer.
Yeah, but that's not.
But how? But the thing, that's the Pharisees. They couldn't understand that.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
They couldn't understand that Jesus, no matter what they did, he still loved them. I'm thankful for that.
Amen. Yeah.
I'm thankful for a devoted daddy. No matter how bad I get, no matter what I do, no matter how far I run, man, we can live this journey of life. We can go far away from we can go to the far country, but the thing is, we can always come back. The thing is that if we look up in this verse here, let me bring it up here real fast. When you look up here, when you see his son goes off to the far country. He spent all his years. He even knew. Well, I want to hit on this again. He sent the fields and swines. Let's see here. He would fain have filled his belly, and musk and swine did eat. No man gave him that. Then here in 17, he came to himself. How many hired servants of my fathers have bread enough to spare, and I perish with hunger? He knew his daddy's servants. Look, he knew his daddy's servants had it better than he did. And they were the servants. He came home and said, "I don't want to be your son anymore. I want to be a servant."
Yeah.
But I'm thankful. But we see here, we get back to the older brother. He was angry. It never says he went back inside. It finishes off there. Let me ask you today, guys. Are you the younger brother? Or are you the older brother? You've been serving Christ for a while. You've been going through the motions. You get angry. You're sitting there on your pew. You're bitter. You're bitter. I don't understand how God can use him. He can't use me. I don't understand how he can do that. And I can't. You can. We got the same daddy. I'm thankful when I mess up, I can go to him and say, "Lord, forgive me."
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't have. There's some things I don't do anymore. There's some things when I ask him to come to my heart, he gives me that. He gives me that coat. It says, "I'm yours." That's that comfort. He gives you that comfort. He gives you that ring. Man, I'm thankful that I have I have that emblem. I have that family heirloom.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
There's some good things in that, but there's two sides of everything. Guys, as we end the live stream today, I thank you for watching. Make sure you share this. Brother Andrew, you got anything as we get out of here this morning?
I'll give you this one quick thing, and then I'll be done. But I believe that here with the elder son, one verse of scripture that I want to bring up is Colossians Chapter 3, verse 2, where it says that set your affections on things above and not on things under this earth. If you ain't careful, you'll lose your focus. And I believe that the elder son lost his focus on what was important. He allowed what his brother did and what his father, how much his father had accepted him back. He allowed that to get in the way, and that caused him to lose his focus on what was important. So just stay focused on what's important. That's Christ. That's all I got.
Amen, brother. Well, y'all get out there and share this. I don't know what my computer is going crazy this morning. I have no clue what's happening.
It just seems like nothing's really gone right this morning.
Hey, all I can say is Brother Wesley says press on. When it gets rough and you try to make this stuff nice, no matter what you do, always something happens, man.
Always.
All the devil, man.
Just pray for us.
I can tell you many stories of being out there with my buddy Spencer Smith on his live streams. Now, when you try to serve the Lord, you're gonna have kickback. You're gonna have the devil.
Well,
I remember
when you got this many wires, you have troubles too. So
one time we were out. I'll tell a story real fast, and we'll get off here. We were doing a live stream, and I could probably write a book. We were about to go live, or we were in the middle of the live stream. He forgot to plug his computer in and died. It killed it. Another time, I remember another time we were out there and we were about to go live. 9 o'clock hits, internet goes out. It don't come back on for another hour and a half. So today, guys, I am sorry for all that. My intro went play. My computer shut off. All that means is we're doing something right.
Yeah, we must be.
We must be doing something right.
We're trying anyways.
We're trying. Guys, I just pray for us. We got a good weekend. Make sure you find a place in the house of the Lord tomorrow.
Absolutely. Make sure you're in church.
I guess we're going to go out here with the Prodigal Son. I like that song with the McKinney's. I don't know why it ain't playing on our end, but it should be playing on your end, it looks like. My speaker turned off.
See, there's another thing.
Right. I don't even know how long that could have been playing the whole time while we were talking.
Could have been.
There we go. I like the beginning of that. I like that. Here we go. We're clapping. Guys, share this. We're going to exit out on that note. And, man, I'm so thankful for devoted daddy.
Man. Yeah.
All right, guys. Y'all take care.
It's good to be free. It's good to be blood-washed, justified eternally. Rough may be the road, but heaven is my home. Jesus washed my sin away. It's good to be saved.